Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the CLSR. And I'm your host, the counselor. Today, we're going to be talking about self hate. That feeling that you have that sometimes you just don't think that you can control. It actually starts to consume you, and you need to know what to do. And as often as we like to believe that it's a unique experience, it's actually quite common. At some point in your life, you might experience self hate, and you might not understand what it's really about. See, self loathing is a serious problem for thousands of people. It can be very difficult to drag yourself out of the muck alone. And it does require a lot of support from others, but you can learn concrete strategies for changing your perspective. Loving yourself and your body and staying positive in your outlook on life is important. You should be in control of your own life, and you can learn self compassion and how to find peace and enjoy your own company. I do believe it starts with changing your perspective. Forget perfection. I know it's advertised to all of us. We have to deal with it. You know, watching these commercials out there, beer commercials with these perfect bodies and perfect faces, although you know the real truth. What does a body look like after a keg of beer? Or these women who are 85 years old and they look like they're 20. That's not funny. But you know what? There are people out there who prescribe to this and they're caught up in the hype. But really, you're going to have to forget perfection. Self loathing is the result of a distorted and entirely negative view of yourself, a view based on fantasy, denial, and delusion. In order to move into reality, you have to learn to be honest and take control of your life. Nobody's perfect, and I mean nobody. Despite what your parents say, nobody's perfect. Trying to hold yourself to a standard of perfection will result in spirals of self loathing. If you want to stop hating yourself, abandon this way of thinking as soon as possible. Stop comparing yourself to people you see on television and in advertisements. Compare yourself to yourself, not to others. Life doesn't work in 30-minute increments and doesn't come with its own Photoshop, retouching, shortcut to happiness. Cut out the television and the social networking for a while and spend more time with one on one interactions. There's too many of you sitting in front of the television today. I mean, how many households have three or more televisions? That's insane in the membrane. And obviously, if you get all this information in your mind, you get a distorted reality. You don't even really know what's true. And you start to forget who's who. You might even forget you. Discover your self loathing triggers. Self loathing works in cycles, sometimes stemming from childhood or early adulthood trauma. But it's not always a single notable memory that can trigger self loathing. Certain people, situations, or behaviors can quickly force you to spiral into negative ways of thinking, making it worse. Learn to identify the thoughts or situations that cause this response so you can better head them off at the pass. Like, I want you to consider the next time you feel some self loathing coming on, stop yourself by saying out loudly, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. Stop and take stock. What's happening around you? Why are you responding to these thoughts? It's because you're trying to get control of your thoughts, right? Get out a piece of paper and write your thoughts down. Writing your thoughts is a kind of catharsis and it will make you feel better. And use positive coping mechanisms. What do you usually do when you start feeling hateful towards yourself? Crawl into bed and watching television instead of going out? Is that what you do? Think again. Drinking to excess? Overeating? Most self loathers have in common that their coping mechanisms end up making the problem worse. Whatever you do to cope, find it and replace it with something more positive. If you struggle with overindulgence in food or drink, Make it impossible. Keep the ice cream and the cookies out of the kitchen and replace them with fresh fruit and vegetables. If you struggle with isolation, force yourself to go out more. Practice daily affirmations. I can't even say this enough. Talking to yourself in the mirror sounds weird, doesn't it? It may. However, you ever hear people talk about, oh, what are you talking to yourself? And they make it like feel like they stigmatize it, right? Talking to yourself. Like we've grown up with people telling you, well, when you talk to yourself, you're crazy. Like it's very common amongst people who are older to make those comments. And even now, the younger generations, like anything that you do, they're watching, observing, and they have something to say about it. Okay. It might be at first a little weird, but it's proven helpful to a large number of people suffering intense pangs of self loathing with some time and consistency. Find a positive mantra to recite to yourself in the mirror when you're experiencing your triggers and get yourself back on track. They don't need to be complicated, right? Like, say to yourself, I'm good enough. I'm in control of my life. I can do this. I'm beautiful, intelligent, and kind. Saying these things will work wonders. List out your core values and beliefs. What are your core values? The ideas and concepts that really mean something to you. Many times these are abstract concepts like loyalty, sacrifice, selflessness, kindness, or equality. You may also value things like creativity, strength, or education. What are the rules by which a good person lives their life? Make a list and review it daily. Update the list as it comes to you. If it helps, think about this as your own personal code and write it out accordingly. If you were forming a club, what would be the traits and values that the other members would live by if it were up to you? You're going to have to make those decisions based on these values, these good values that you've acquired. Often self loathing occurs when our actions are misaligned with our values. Every time you are faced with a choice, even if it's just a choice with how you'd like to spend your free time, double check that your decisions are in line with your core values. Ask yourself, will this make me feel better or worse about myself? If a core value on your list is creativity, how will you spend your free time? There's always Netflix. There's always something on the tube. Or you could get cracking on that novel you always wanted or meant to start. Keep your actions consistent with your beliefs. And you got to love and learn to love your body. Use your body in ways that make you proud. Just as we must make decisions to act in ways that align with our values, we must use our physical bodies in ways that make us proud to inhabit them. What can your body do for you? How can you use your body in a positive way that will promote positive thinking and self love? Decide what treating yourself right means. Right might mean different things for different people, but you can go about it in the same way with your decisions. What behavior will make you proud of your body? While certain things might feel good in the moment, they may also contribute to cycles of self loathing down the road. Every drinking binge has a hangover at the end of it. In general, you want to avoid self destructive behaviors like substance abuse to stay proud of your body. Use your body in physical ways, like do things with your body to make it work for you. Hike to the top of a mountain so you can look down at the valley below and say, I did this in my body. Go out dancing and make exercise fun. Devote yourself to learning a particular yoga or a new dance style, and you'll be making your body work for you. The exercise will be a byproduct of that positive use of your body. And I know it's hard work, but sometimes hard work is good for you when you do that exercise, right? If you really want to get your body fit the way you like, it's going to take some work, but you're worth it. See, while it may be a goal to lose weight, Your ultimate goal should be developing a positive body image. Calorie burning should be a good benefit of doing things you like doing, not torturing yourself. Finding a way of being physical that you genuinely enjoy, and you'll be much closer to self love and a positive body image. Some of you are going crazy on that exercise machine, or you're punishing yourself. And you ever hear those people that are exercising? The only thing they got to say is, "Oh, I hate exercising. I just can't stand it." So they give you all that negativity. Look, if you don't really like exercising, then start slow and do little things to which you're comfortable. Don't go excessive. Don't go crazy. Oh, you know what? I'm going to burn this and I'm going to change overnight. Because usually those people that go drastic when it comes to exercising, those are the people, the results don't last long. They end up going back into the behavior because they're too busy trying to burn fat to lose weight. But they're not understanding about the good feeling of self love and how you feeling good about you. You might not be as skinny as Jenny on the block, right? But you could rock just as good with your look if you take care of yourself and you just love the parts of your body and work on it. You know what I'm saying? Wear clothes that make you feel confident. You don't have to dress any particular way, except the way that helps you to feel the most comfortable and consistent and confident about your body. Ideas about what is flattering and what is sexy are highly subjective across cultures. And if you want to build a positive body self image, it's important for you to decide how you can clothe yourself to feel like the most confident version of yourself. Not everybody's going to look the same you do in those clothes. So get clothes that you feel comfortable in and look good in. See, in general, it's good to put less stock in what fashion magazines have to say about the way you dress yourself. Feeling confident isn't synonymous with being trendy, especially if current trends involve super tight, high waisted pants. Try to strike a balance between comfort and a style you like. It's over simple to say that clothes don't matter. They do. While they're not as important to work on as other things, it can be a big confidence booster to put more thought into your appearance, and clothes are one of the easiest ways to do this. Would a leather jacket make you confident? Consider it. Could be a key piece. But one thing I want you to caution, and I'm going to do caution against, stop comparing yourself to others. It's not hard to do. I know some of you even go to the highest of the high. Some of you are looking at television, seeing these stars out there, and you're like, I want to be just like them. And you punish yourself. The fastest way to develop an unhealthy sense of body image and spiraling self loathing is to constantly compare yourself to others, especially celebrities or fashion icons. You don't have a responsibility to look any particular way for anyone other than yourself. So try to stay positive. Surround yourself with positive people. While it might seem like you're the one doing the hating, it might really be the fear of the rejection of others or an overemphasis on the opinions of others that give you self esteem troubles. Easiest way to break out? Stop hanging out with people who don't build you up. Critics, complainers, and haters should have no place in your life. And you know there's plenty out there. Sometimes they're those lifelong friends that just always have something to say. And you're trying to live up to it. Look at your close friends. Are they suffering from similar issues? Are they projecting these issues and anxieties onto you? If so, consider making a break. Find friends that you can rely on to not drag you through the muck. If you're in a relationship with someone who is criticizing, manipulative, or feeds your anxieties about yourself, you're giving yourself the short end of the stick. You can do better. I know it might not feel like it, but you can. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell you. End the relationship and find someone who will love you for you and the person that you are. And there are too many people who are like, I've been with this person so long. Yeah, they love me, but they got this negative side of me. Nobody's perfect. I got to kind of put up with this. It's just the way life is. No, if it's too much, move on. And sometimes we're so entrenched in these relationships, we've been classically conditioned, been in there every day listening to it. Oh, this is the only person that'll ever love me. I've had a mistake before. So we give up. We don't look out there. I want you to stay in control and own your attitude. Okay? Right? And make sure that you are confident in your choices. Psychologists often describe what is called as locus of control, which can be placed either internally or externally. People with an internal locus of control look to themselves to decide whether or not they're successful. People with external locus, they look outward. You can't change the way others perceive you, and it's a waste of time to try. Instead, focus on shifting your focus of control inward. You don't have any responsibility to others, you have one to yourself. Go out and be useful to others. Right? If you're struggling with self hatred, it may be helpful to think about others for a while and remind yourself how fortunate you really are. Volunteering your time can be an excellent way to build self esteem and give back the same time. It's hard not to feel valuable and valued at the end of a day spent contributing in a positive way in your community. If your job is part of the aggravation, make a switch. Pushing a pencil all day, not doing anything for you? Uh uh Get out of it. Find something that benefits your community more directly. Take a risk to make a change in your life and commit to your own happiness. You are in control of your life. Don't become too complacent. Find ways to express that creativity that you have. We all have a little bit of creativity in us, some more than others. Instead of wallowing, decide to exercise your creative impulses and make something. Pick up a new hobby or return to an older hobby or interest that you may have abandoned at some point along the way. Want to write a novel? Start painting. Pick up an instrument. Get active. Give yourself something to stay consistent and proud of. And I said, and I say it, and I say it, and I say it, be careful of the negative influences. Because if you're around too many people who are haters, and you're battling out, you become a hater. So you got to learn to stop hating. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. They don't know how to break free. Like if you have a reputation for being a hater, or if your parents or friends have told you to stop being hateful, then it may be time to work on letting go of your negative feelings and developing a more positive perspective. In order to stop hating, you need to focus on all the good things in your life, as well as appreciating what other people have to offer. Though you may never be a social butterfly, you can make a real effort to stop hating and to open yourself up to love and understanding. Okay? Just try it. Like, stop hating everybody. Assume the best about people instead of the worst. One of the reasons you may hate everybody is because you assume that everyone around you is only out to hurt, annoy, or bother you in some way. Learn to stop looking at the people around you as a nuisance or a threat, and learn to embrace the good people around you and to see that they can actually improve your life if you let them. Sure, not everyone in the world is going to make your life better. And when you're stuck on a crowded subway, it's easy to feel like everyone is only there to make your life miserable. However, if you give individual people a chance, you'll see that they're not so bad after all. Practice assuming that anyone who talks to you has the best intentions, not the worst. Of course, if a stranger approaches you in a dark alley, you should be wary. But if your coworker or a neighbor asks you to grab a cup of coffee, assume that the person just wants to be your friend, not that the person has some ulterior motive for hanging out with you. We're always suspicious. Learn to enjoy small talk if you can. You may also hate people because you just feel like you're always stuck talking to them when you'd rather be alone. If this is your point of view, though, you're likely to continue hating people forever. Instead, learn to find the joy in having a conversation and connecting with another person instead of looking at everyone who talks to you as someone who's either wasting your time or blathering on about nothing. Smile more and be friendly. Show people that you're open to conversation and they'll be more likely to be frank with you. Find a way to find common ground with people. This will show you that you're not as different from them as you expected. Know that there's nothing small about small talk. It's what leads you to build deeper relationships and to get to know people better eventually. Give compliments. Sure, giving compliments is probably the last thing you want to do if you hate people. However, that's exactly why you should practice giving the people around you sincere compliments to show that you truly do care. Make a habit of giving at least one or two compliments a day to an acquaintance or a perfect stranger to show that you're paying attention. This will help you be more positive and look for the good in people. Plus, you never know. The random compliment you give to a person can make that person's day. Maybe it'll be the only positive interaction that person has all day, and it takes so little effort. If you know a person more closely, focus on complimenting an aspect of that person's personality instead of just the superficial things. Plus, if you compliment more people, you'll hear more positive reinforcement back. So you'll just be contributing to more positive energy and less hatred in the universe. Open up to people. I know it's not easy for a lot of you. Though you may feel like opening up to people is the last thing to do, if you're a self proclaimed misanthrope, you may find that if you open up to the people around you a bit, you'll be likely to find some understanding, compassion, and friendship. This will make you much less likely to hate people and more likely to see that developing relationships with people are a good thing. You don't need to bare your soul to the first person you see. However, if you slowly open up to your acquaintances, then those relationships may lead to friendships. You may feel like you hate everyone because you feel like a loner who can't relate to anyone. But if you talk to people more, you'll see that you're not as different as you thought. As you open up to people, make sure to ask them questions about themselves, too. This can help you feel more inclined to connect with people. Like, I want you to think of all the ways that people can help you. Another way to stop hating everybody is to realize that most of the people around you can be viewed as untapped resources. Your older brother can help you apply to college, your teacher can help you understand world history, and your friend can help you learn how to make the perfect chocolate chip cookies. If you think that everyone around you is just there to make your life miserable, then yeah, you're going to hate everybody. One way to see that people can be a big resource to you is to talk to them more. Talking to people more will make you see how much they have to offer you. You may not know, for example, that your neighbor is a whiz at math until you talk to them more. See, if people help you with something, help them out in return. Take this message to the grave. This can make you feel more connected to people and less likely to hate them too. And volunteer. I can't even emphasize enough volunteering. You may think that volunteering to help other people is the last thing you want to do if you feel like you hate everybody. However, if you make an effort to care about people other than yourself and to help your community improve and grow, you'll soon be on your way to having a more compassionate perspective and to loving the people around you instead of hating them. Whether you're teaching people to read at a local library or volunteering at a dog shelter, you'll start to feel more connected to the world through the simple act of helping. You'll also meet some people who will help you develop a more positive perspective, who will make you see that the world isn't all doom and gloom. Just volunteering a few times a month can help you feel more open minded and like you're making a real difference out there. You gotta really try your best to stop hating a specific person. Get your feelings out. In order to stop hating a certain person in your life, whether it's an ex friend or an ex boyfriend, it's important to be open and honest about how you're really feeling before you can get rid of those negative feelings. Talk to a close friend about it. Write your feelings down. Or just make sure that you're open and honest about why you hate that person. You may find that that person hasn't actually done anything wrong, or that the real reason why you hate the person isn't what you expected. If you're in denial about why you hate the person, then you'll never, ever really be able to deal with your feelings. The sooner you let your feelings out, the sooner you'll feel better. If you feel like crying, there's no shame in that. Do whatever you need to do to deal with this source of hatred. Talk to the person if you think it will help. If the person you hate was once your friend or significant other and you feel that having a constructive conversation can actually help you feel better, then you should pick up the place and time to really talk about that to the person. You may feel a sense of greater understanding, some closure, or even relief at being able to express your feelings and hearing the other person out. Though this may not be the most pleasant conversation, it can save you from months of stewing. Be open and honest about your feelings. Don't hold back. As long as you don't insult the person or stir up more trauma, you'll feel better about letting those feelings go. If the person is unwilling to talk to you, then there's no point in forcing it. You'll only end up feeling more frustrated if the person won't talk to you. Learn to forgive. We've talked about this forgiveness. People who tend to hate often spend their time feeling angry or bitter about how people have wronged them or done them wrong. Of course, if you're really being hurt, then it's important to have a conversation about it and to state your views. But if you tend to hold a grudge and never really accept apologies or hear people out when they've made a mistake, then you'll never be able to move past these issues or concerns. Work on building compassion and trying to see a situation through another person's shoes. See if you can see where the person who hurt you is coming from. Make sure you really listen to the person who apologizes to you. If you're not ready to hear the apology yet, then say you need a while until you calm down a bit. And avoid the gossip because a lot of people get into the gossip. Don't want to start gossiping about other people. Though you may think that spreading your hatred toward a particular person can really help you get over the situation, doing so will actually make you feel worse about the whole thing. Other people may reinforce your negative feelings, and you'll only feel more justified in hating that person. Plus, talking about how much you hate the person will only get you riled up and even more hated. You know what I mean? That will just emphasize more hatred. Of course, if you're in a complicated situation with the person and generally need advice, then you can talk to someone else about it. But if you just want to complain, gossip, and make the situation worse, then definitely this will not stop you from hating. Plus, if the person hears that you're gossiping about them, then they're likely to start the gossiping game themselves. And that will only fuel the fire. Okay, focus on the people that like you. One way to try to turn your attention away from the person you can't stand is to spend more time with the people you do like. Even if you're the kind of person who hates almost everyone, there must be at least one or two people in your life who you genuinely like. Make an effort to spend more time with those people and think about all of the happiness that they'll bring to your life. This will help you forget or get over the person you hate much faster than if you spend time by yourself. Try to avoid talking about the person you hate. Instead, keep things positive and avoid dragging yourself down even further. And move on to something that makes you happy. One way to stop hating a specific person is to focus on something that's good in your life. Instead, this can be doing yoga, hanging out with other friends, throwing yourself into your studies, reading for pleasure, hiking, or doing whatever it takes that makes you smile. If you have nothing else going on but your hatred for that person, then yeah, you're likely to keep hating for a long time. Though it can be hard to fully distract yourself when you hate somebody, just making an effort to go through the motions and throw yourself into something else can be far more effective than sitting there and stewing or being on the phone gossiping. Try to do something that won't remind you of the person you hate or make you think even more bad thoughts about them. Know that it's going to take some time. Nothing happens overnight. Be prepared to give it a while before you truly stop hating the person you hate. It's likely that you'll have to take some time to fully process and accept whatever happened before moving on. Don't be frustrated with yourself if it takes you weeks or even months to walk by the person before feeling like your hatred is, starting to go down. If that rage or anger is starting to dissipate, that's going to take some time, and that's actually perfectly natural. If you and the person you hate are in the same social circle or hang out a lot at the same places, try to avoid the person as much as you can until you feel calmer about the situation. If you do have to see the person regularly, like in class, then you should work on either ignoring the person or being as cordial as you can. I do recommend meditation. Though you may think it's corny, meditation can actually help you feel more at peace with yourself and the world. It can open up your mind to a more generous, positive perspective. It can help you let the little things roll off your back. Just making a habit of meditating for 10 to 20 minutes every day can make your whole day shine brighter and make you feel less inclined to hate everyone around you. So you're just going to have to find a calm, quiet place and take a seat on the floor. Then I want you to close your eyes and focus on relaxing every part of your body, one at a time. Next, I want you to focus on breath rising in and out of your body. Work on eliminating any thoughts, worries, or complaints that may fill your mind. Do this once or twice a day for at least 10 minutes until you find yourself feeling more at peace, relaxed, and less likely to judge. Spend some time in nature. I can't even say this enough. Concrete jungle, we're all living in a concrete jungle. Most of us. But I do suggest spending a bit of time surrounded by nature. And this can make you feel more grateful and less inclined to get stuck in the small stuff. Just spending a few hours a week sitting in a nice park, going on a stroll through the woods, walking along the beach, or staring out at a placid lake can make you feel how small you are in the scheme of things, and that the world is too grand and beautiful for you to get hung up on hating people who haven't done anything wrong for the most part. You can do this on your own so you can feel calm and meditative throughout the experience. Avoid thinking any negative thoughts and focus on the present and enjoy the world around you. You can also bring a hiking, walking, or jogging buddy with you and enjoy both the nature you see and being around other people. You don't need to be the outdoorsy type to spend time outside. If you're really not into hiking, just take a walk through your neighborhood and look at the leaves changing colors or the flowers blooming, you know. But make sure it's at an appropriate time. Just think of your safety if you start walking around at night. You don't want to be going for walks in parks when there's no lights and it's dark and nobody's up and around. Try to keep it in the daytime. You know what I mean? Just keep it legit. And if you have to, I would like you to write a gratitude list. You'll develop more of a positive outlook and will be less likely to hate people if you think about all the things you have to be thankful for. Just take 15 minutes out of your day to sit down and write down all the things you have to be thankful for. This can be everything from your health, your pet, your kind neighbor who's helpful. Nothing is too small to be thankful for. Make sure to write down every little thing that you should be thankful for. Take time to review your list. Read it aloud if you need to. This is going to help reinforce the positive and stop the hating. Make a habit of adding to this list once a week. This will show you that you should make a habit of gratitude. Tape the list above your door, you know what I mean, or on the wall. This can help you stay more positive. Or, on the wall of the stairwell you go up each day, or outside your door or above your bed. And just make sure you're hanging out with positive people. That's another simple way to develop a more positive perspective. Although you may not want to admit it, one of the reasons why you may be struggling to stop hating is because one of the people you hate is yourself. Ask yourself if you truly like who you are and what you have to offer, or if there's room for improvement. Then work on addressing the flaws you can change and accepting the ones you can't. All the while reminding yourself about all the good things you have to offer the world. Building your confidence can take years, but once you make an effort to address your insecurities, you'll be on your way to hating less. One thing you could do is try to hang out with people who make you feel good about yourself. If everyone around you is always bringing you down, then you're not likely to be very confident. Work on projecting confidence through your body language. Stand tall, look people in the eye, and avoid slouching or crossing your arms over your chest. Let people see that you're happy to inhabit your own body. And focus on the things you have to look forward to. Sure, you're going to hate if you feel like there's nothing going good in your life. However, if you have something good to look forward to, whether it's some quality time with your family over the weekend or a career in medicine once you're done with school, or you graduate high school and you get your certificate and you're happy, then this will make you feel less likely to hate and more likely to be excited about happy. Now, comparing yourself is detrimental. Don't do it. Other things that you need to consider is every little success is still success. However small, it's still success. And you should look at that, you know? Make a list of all the good things you have to look forward to. Even if it's something as silly as your favorite show after school. Start small and build towards larger. Make important goals. This can make you see that there is plenty of good in the world after all. Make a habit of talking about the good things in your life instead of the bad. This can make you both outwardly and inwardly optimistic. Plus, if you share the things you're excited about, your friends will support you and make you even more excited about them. It's important to note that you can make some changes for the better. Loving yourself is important. I want to say, be like the wise old bird and spread the word. And those people who would like to represent, go online to the CLSR.myshopify.com and get yourself a t-shirt. Show your love. Get some gear. Let them know we're here. All right? Take care of yourself, people.